he can differ from the majority of the conference.
Okay.
And that's what he did.
Okay, I misunderstood there.
Now, he probably cut his political umbilical cord to the White House.
Oh, yeah.
He called my show on Friday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on normally 1 to 4 in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah, I listened to it.
He called me, and he's more concerned, and I think rightly so, Tim, of representing the people of the 6th Congressional District than representing the special interest in the Republican Party in Washington.
Okay.
Buddy, good luck on your work.
Okay, and one other thing about Carl from Wolfkin.
Yeah?
The reason he can't notice the difference is because his brain's so deteriorated. And
hey, don't tangle with Carl, man. He'll kick your butt.
Oh, more than likely.
We're going to have him on. We're going to do a show here in a few weeks called the Minter Gang. And Carl's one of the Minter Gang. He'll be in here live. You'll get a chance to really cut up with it.
Okay, thanks for letting me talk.
Take care, dude. 1228, and I'm Wes Minter with one line open at 872-0750 on AM, say it with me, 750 WSB.
AM-750 WSB, where our entertaining and informative talk shows are a great change of pace when you get bored with the same old songs over and over on FM. And at AM-750 WSB, if news breaks out, we'll break in. That's something FM stations just can't do. Atlanta's leader for news, AM-750 WSB. Depend on it.
Your car. It's your home away from home. And driving it should be easy, even fun. But if driving your car isn't what it used to be, it may be time to make a move. Whether you need to sell the car you have now or you're looking to buy another one, Community Auction Resale Services, or CARS, can help do both.
And CARS makes it simple. It's a public auto auction. All you have to do is come out to CARS, located near I-85 and Jimmy Carter Boulevard on Brook Hollow Parkway, and see for yourself. Just pick up the phone and dial 441-CARS for more information.
After all, since you and your car spend so much time together, we figure it should feel less like a car and more like chrome, sweet chrome.
CARS, Community Auction Resale Services, is open Monday through Thursday, 9 to 6, Friday, 9 to 9, and on Saturday, CARS is open from 9 a.m. until the last car is auctioned.
What a disgrace, getting drunk like that at your sister's graduation party. You should be ashamed of yourself.
You can preach.
A drinking problem? He's only 14. He doesn't have a drinking problem. It's a phase.
You can deny.
If you come home drunk again, mister, you are gone out of my house. And don't think I won't do it. Do you hear me?
Threaten?
You have got to stop. I'm begging you. Please.
Beg.
You're a drunk. Just look at you. Look at you. A drunk! A drunk!
Or yell. But if your son or daughter has a drinking problem, the best thing you can do is call. With the National Council on Alcoholism and Drug Dependence, we help thousands of people every year. Call us at 1-800-475-HOPE. That's 1-800-475-HOPE. Get through to us, and we'll help you get through to them. Just don't give up. This public service message brought to you by the National Citizens Commission on Alcoholism and the Advertising Council.
AM-750 WSB, Atlanta's choice for the most stimulating two-way conversation. And at this time at night, it's also America's choice. Our toll-free number, 1-800-WSB-TALK. And here in the city, that's toll-free, by the way. Here in the city, it's 872-0750. Why don't we go ahead and clear one of those toll-free lines as we go up to Clincho, Virginia. This is Brenda on AM-750 WSB.
How you doing, Wes?
Brenda, I'm just right.
Well, let me tell you, I was driving home this evening and heard you on the radio. I'm about 450 miles north of you.
Mm-hmm.
And grew up in Atlanta and had to move up here for a job change 3 years ago. And it was just like a breath of fresh air picking up Atlanta again.
How about that? What do you do up in Virginia?
I am a high school teacher.
Ooh, boy, you get your hands full.
I've got my hands full, surely do. But I wanted to call and comment on the Two Live Crew issue.
Lay it on me.
I am fairly young. I've only been teaching 5 years.
Well, for those of us who can't figure out what fairly means, how old are you?
28.
All right.
28. Pretty young. But I want to say my kids up here in Clinchco, Virginia, a very small town, we're about 2 hours from the closest major record chain. Okay, we are out in the backwoods.
Do you get MTV up there?
We get MTV, we sure do.
Okay.
And I guarantee you, most of the kids in my school have a copy of As Nasty as They Want to Be. And they just eat that stuff up because, the people tell them, no, you can't listen to it. So, what I'm saying is they have the right to say what they want to say in their music, but, I don't think it's fit for anyone's listening entertainment. I can't agree with anything they say.
What do the parents feel like up there? I mean, every time I hear that the kids have this and the kids have that, you know what goes through my mind, Brenda? Is the parents don't give a rip.
Well...
And we all know that, by the way, forgive me for interrupting, but we all know that kids are going to get what they want to get, do what they want to do, regardless of the authoritarian figures, right?
That's true. That's true.
Well, let's face it, when I was in high school, which wasn't all that long ago, we used to get things all the time on the QT. We used to smuggle stuff in the locker room all the time. And, and kids, are going to be kids. But I'll tell you, we weren't getting the kind of things kids are getting today.
Yeah, that's true, but
and the entire cultural makeup of this country, the entire moral fabric of this country is headed south, in my opinion. It's in a tailspin, and it's things like Two Live Crew, like Andrew Dice Clay, and so many of these other sleazeball smut groups out there that are bringing this country to a moral decay. I'm sorry.
I totally agree with you, and 10 years ago, when I was a senior at Chamblee High School, I would never have guessed I would be taking the upright moral teacher position on this subject. Times do change.
No, times change and we all grow up.
It's garbage. I don't think the parents are uninterested in what their kids are doing or what they're listening to. I think they just don't know.
Do you feel like you have to be the substitute parent every now and then?
Oh, absolutely. Every day.
That's why you're in a very, very good job and a very good position to be a great role model. Brenda, come back and see us sometime.
Appreciate it.
Take care. Bill in Lithonia, you're on AM-750 WSB at 1234.
All right. Good to hear your voice here.
Thank you, sir. Good morning.
Time tonight, or in the morning. After listening to that bleeding heart liberal and that other guy that follows him, you wouldn't believe the stuff that goes on.
Oh, I get hints. They leave me...
get you transferred to this shift regular?
Oh, come on, Bill. I'm on 1 to 4 normally in the afternoon, man. I love where I'm at now. What do you want to get me on regular here? Why don't I do both? How about that?
That'd be great.
I'd be a complete walking zombie afterwards. But
yeah, that's true. I work from 12 till 9 at night, so I don't get to get in.
You got a long shift. 12 noon?
Yeah.
Wow.
Till 9 at night. It's just 8 hours, 8.5 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, 12:30, I should say.
When
I get to listen to Ludlow some. He's the only conservative voice I'd heard on the WSB.
Well, wake up and listen to me now because there's somebody else.
Yeah, but you're on in the afternoon, aren't you?
That's right. We're having a big rally here. Too bad you can't be part of our rally Friday.
I'd like to be. I'd like to go.
Send a friend. Tell a friend to come down and see me.
I'll try and get.
Have them enter your name in Minter's Army. We're signing up Minter's Army, and we're gonna give away some brunches to the Waverly, and everybody has to bring a broom. Doesn't cost you a thing to come and see me. I'd never do that to you, but you got to bring a broom.
Well, I got a 3 things on my mind. Old, like I said, bleeding heart liberal. He cuts me off every time I call in. So.
Are you talking about Gonzalez?
Yeah, he's the worst one. That other guy, he's completely. I still haven't figured out if he's an actor or if he's really like that for real.
Well, Paul, not to be confused with David Paul. And David Paul's show's called Off the Wall. David Paul, figure it out for yourself. Yeah. I treat the guy like a foul ball. But the limousine liberal, not the bleeding heart. Paul's not a bleeding heart. There's some things, very few.
Oh, no, he's not. But I mean, the one on Gordon Gonzalez, he's the bleeding heart.
That's what I mean. But there's some things he and I agree with, very few. He's a limousine liberal. He would rather spend your money than his own. He'd rather government take care of you than you take care of yourself. I mean, he's on here the other night blathering away on, there's nothing wrong with the morals in America, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, what's on your mind?
Well, you didn't touch on something that's really been tearing me up here lately.
Oh, what's that?
The liberals in Congress bitched about Reagan's spending money for the Star Wars, and laughed at him for doing it. Well, guess what? They come up with a system from that money that's real inexpensive that we can protect ourselves from, and we wouldn't have to have our boys over there right now. I guess you know what it is. That's Smart Pebbles, it's called.
Uh-huh.
$1.5 million to build one of them, which is real cheap compared to the money that they waste. Every time somebody shoots a rocket in the air, this thing blows it out. We wouldn't have a problem in the world. Anybody's rocket go in the air, this thing would knock it out. Why don't they go ahead and build them now? You know, this is what really tears me up. Besides that...
Why don't we just go ahead and end this whole thing in the Middle East, too, Bill?
Yeah, well, that's true. Besides that, them idiots over there, some of them are going to soon have the ability to shoot rockets all the way over here. We're going to have to put them up.
I think the time has come for all of us. I appreciate your call. For America, when I say all of us, it's going to come down to the U.S. of A. to simply bring this thing in the Middle East to a head. Ultimatum time, it's coming up. CA in Smyrna, you're on AM-750 WSB with Wes Minner in for David Ball.
CA here. Wes, how are you doing?
Wes here,
I'm
CA.
a 45-year-old construction worker, and occasionally I will stop at one of those minute markets 1 or 2 days out of the week, and I will have a beer. I'd like for someone to tell me what's wrong with that. I'm about 10 minutes from home, and an open container law would arrest me.
Right.
Now, you tell me, or I'd like for one of your listeners or someone to tell me exactly why I should be arrested.
Well, because, CA, so many people, unlike yourself, are not responsible. And when so many people in society have chosen not to be responsible, all of society has to pay. All of society, CA, has to pay when a red light says red.
But, Wes, where does that leave me?
Well, I'm sorry, sir. We got too many drunks. What are you doing to stop drunk driving other than your own individual responsibility?
I'll tell you what I'm
which
doing
the
to
libertarian
stop
view
drunk
would say...
Can I tell you?
Yeah, well, let me finish my statement here. What the libertarian view would say, you take care of yourself and to the hell with anybody else.
What I am doing to stop drunk driving is this. I am making sure that I do not drive drunk. I take my beer home and...
So you take care of yourself. But, CA, how else? I appeal to you, sir. I appeal to you, the guy that drops off and picks up one of the ice-down beers. What else are we going to do to stop these hit-and-run DUIs?
I'll tell you what we'll
this
do.
week.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll stop watering down the law. I gave to MAD for a long time, and I stopped giving to it, and I'll tell you why I did. Because they started to approach this open container law. We've watered down...
How have we watered it down,
We've
CA?
watered it down because we have made it so as a person like myself can be in the same situation as a person who has had 5 DUIs and killed a couple of people. I can be put in the same category as those people.
You're 10 minutes from your house.
10, 15 minutes from my house.
You can't keep your wet, sweaty body for 10, 15 minutes to get home and have a beer?
Well, now, Wes, that's cheap right there. But
no, I'm asking
now,
you.
5 days of the week, I'll pick up a Coke, and I can't keep my wet, sweaty body from drinking that Coke either. I'm thirsty, okay?
I'm telling you, sir, people are dropping in there to those shops, and they're picking up a beer. Not you. You sound like the responsible one. But there's so many others out there that don't just get one, CA.
They're the minority, Wes.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. Like anything else in this country, it takes a few to make it bad for all of us, doesn't it?
Well, yes, so you're going to take that rotten apple and you're going to turn the whole barrel over?
Why can't you wait till you get home to have the beer is what I'm asking.
Well, why should I? I am not drunk off of that one beer.
If you come to my shop, you wouldn't find the beer.
Wes, you haven't addressed my statement. What is wrong with my opening that one beer?
Right now? No, right now there's nothing wrong with it.
All right, but what is wrong with it in the eyes of society?
In the eyes of society, if we had an open container law, which means you can't be drinking it in your car like that, or any passenger in your car can't, that we would have safer drivers on the highway. End of story.
It's not the end of story. It is the beginning of a situation whereby an average citizen such as myself who pays his taxes cannot enjoy the fruits of his labor.
Saying...
If I want to go out here and work hard every day and sweat my body, and I do sweat. I have a sweaty body on the way home, by the way, Wes. You're right about that.
I figured
because
that.
I work construction.
Are you saying, CA, and I hear what you're saying, I just want to confirm this, that kind of law would lead to more tyranny in our state?
I would, yes, indeed.
Interesting point. Some people would agree with that.
It is the beginning. And Wes, I've listened to you for a long time on the afternoon shows. I've never been able to call you because I'm always listening.
And you're always working and getting sweaty.
Pardon?
You're always getting sweaty when you're working.
That's exactly
right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm building the things out here that everybody
You're paying for the taxes. You're paying for the taxes the government takes away. I understand. Real quick, CA, I understand your point. It is an interesting point. I can't totally disagree with you on the tyranny issue. But until we find something else, friend, I think we're going to have to sweat till we get home.
Can I suggest something else?
Sure, real quick.
All right, the first offender thing, as far as the DUI thing goes.
Make it tough.
The first offender is not the culprit out there. It is the guy who is a drunk. It's the guy who drinks constantly and drives. That's the guy we got to go after. Now, we've got to separate him from the guy like myself, who...
And therein lies...
How do we do that? We do that simply. And it's very simple. You know, the answers are always simple, but we just don't see them.
What is it?
The first offender should not be prosecuted to the limit of the law. He should be warned severely.
They are being warned severely. They are being warned severely, CA. Thanks for the call. I just don't think they're being warned severely enough. And warned maybe is not the right word. Maybe they're not being punished severely enough. The tyranny issue, interesting point. 1243 on AM-750, WSB.
AM-750 WSB, Atlanta's leader for up-to-the-minute traffic information. We cover the rush hours like nobody else can. Scott Slade and Joy Cashin fly in the WSB Skycopter and Skyplane. Our own reporters, our own machines. We don't have to share with 10 other stations. Add to that thousands of ground reporters with the Bell South Mobility Hotline, and you have triple the coverage.
To report a traffic problem, press *750. It's a free call for Bell South Mobility customers.
AM-750 WSB. Depend on it.
From the mountains high to the forest green, let's keep Georgia peachy clean.
Litter along Georgia's highways is costly, unsightly, and dangerous. The $3.8 million used to pick up trash tossed out the window by thoughtless travelers could have been used to maintain and repair your roadways. What you don't toss, don't cost.
From the mountains high to the forest green, let's keep Georgia peachy clean.
I never even considered buying a used car before, but then I went to Honda Carland. Their used cars look good as new, spotlessly clean, completely serviced. In fact, most even come with a 30-day limited warranty. And we're talking more than Hondas here. Sports cars, pickups, they have it all. Chances are, if you buy a used car from Honda Carland, no one will ever know, and I won't tell anyone. If you don't. In Roswell.
Crank it up. AM-750 WSB as we go to Charlotte, North Carolina. Brian, you got Wes Minter in the air everywhere.
Wes.
Yeah.
How are you?
Buddy, I'm hanging in there on a Saturday night or Sunday morning, however you choose.
Man, I'm pleased to hear you. I was really pleased when I heard you describe yourself as a right-wing extremist.
Yeah, I'm one of those ones that some others around this radio station call me frightening and dangerous.
Yeah, my friends call me that, too, simply because I like the Constitution and I like to stick by it.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
Oh, yeah, it is, because you're crazy, you know.
Oh, give those, tell those people that you're going to put them in your prayer book and leave it at that.
Well, I do.
And they kind of go, huh?
I pray for them.
You got to go, huh?
Because I used to be a liberal when I was a kid.
Yeah, so did I.
And then I grew up and got some brains.
How old are you now?
I'm 31.
Yeah, when I was about 18, 19, 20, I was one of those that wanted to question the government on everything they did. And, I still question the government, just from a different angle.
Yeah, I do, too. I question it from a different angle also. I want to make a couple of comments, if I might. You had a guy calling earlier about raising some ruffle about the Second Amendment and how it applied to the militia standpoint.
Right.
Well, I would suggest to that gentleman that if that's his problem, let's just go to the 9th and 10th Amendments and end the discussion once and for all, because anything that's not specifically enumerated, the people reserve the rights.
Mm-hmm. The states, that's right.
The states or the people, right.
And then you have some left-wing Neanderthals out there who go, well, the 14th Amendment just screwed your 10th Amendment up. And you know what? They're kind of right.
Well, they are, since it introduced the dual citizenship.
But you have to also, if you want to come back to the people that love the 14th, and I have some people call my afternoon show here, and they just take me on, tell them, well, when was the 14th Amendment legally ratified?
Yeah, right.
It never was.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, as you know, the 11th through the rest of them are all bogus anyway.
What else on your mind?
Pardon me?
What else? What was the other point on your mind?
The other point on my mind was about the Supreme Court. And I'm kind of curious as to when the idea got started that the Supreme Court had any kind of jurisdiction outside of the case at hand.
Back when President Eisenhower, who I don't think was one of the best presidents of this country, appointed a gentleman by the name of Earl Warren to the court. And ever since we had the Warren Court in the 60s, we had a judicial presidency, in my opinion.
I totally agree with you, but the fact of the matter is that the states are not bound to obey any edict of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court only adjudicates the case that's in front of them.
Right, exactly. But what happens is the Supreme Court then creates, through its interpretation, strengths by which legislatures and or federal legislators, in the sense of the Congress, create new law or strengthens law they already did. How else can you explain how a Supreme Court can uphold an appellate court's decision in Kansas City, Missouri, that allows school boards to levy, that enforces a court's decision over a school board to levy taxes?
Right.
What happens is by that decision, they say the judge can tell you, local school board authority, to raise your taxes.
Yeah, but the school board is not bound to obey it.
Yes, they are. By a court.
Where's the enforcement going to come from, Wes?
The enforcement is they strike down one law and then make the contested law the law.
No, but I'm saying if the
contested view of the law.
All the school board has to say is no. What are they going to do? Send the U.S. Marshals in?
Well, radically, I see your point.
You understand what I'm saying?
Radically, I see your point, but nobody wants to get radical like that.
Well,
everybody wimps out and they go, well, that's what the court said we have to do, and the state attorney general and everybody else says that's what we have to do.
Well, I have a solution for
nobody puts a big deadbolt lock on the door and says, come on, get me.
Well, that's just because people are gutless.
What's your solution?
Here's my solution. Are you familiar with the Articles of Confederation?
Yes, I am.
Do you know that they've never been done away with?
They are still intact, yes.
They're still in force.
Right.
I don't have
return to those is what you're saying?
Pardon me?
Return to those?
If you go into the Articles of Confederation, you'll find it's either the 3rd or the 5th. I don't have them in front of me. But there's a provision in there for a committee of the states to actually oversee Congress. And the committee of the states can convene and actually withdraw their congressmen and appoint new representation.
They can, Brian, but where it starts, my friend, is it has to start with you trying to get somebody to move that kind of thing in Washington, and it's a slow process. What we should do... Yes, it is a slow... Yeah, but it's a slow process to get a majority.
Well, it's a slow process simply because of our government schools that brainwash our kids.
Okay, perhaps, but you and I will be in the minority in that case.
Well, we would. What are we going to do?
We have to start one-on-one. We have to start getting our friends to understand our way, and our way is not something we created. Our way is learning from things like the Federalist Papers and the Articles of Confederation.
I totally agree.
Hope you could come down. Wish you could come down here Friday for my big town meeting on the front lawn.
I wish I could, too. I'll tell you what, before I hang up, can you put me back on with somebody who can give me your address down there, and I can...
yeah, hold on a second. Hold on just a second. Take Brian there on the toll-free line, Chris, and give him our address and my name and my warmest personal regards. Andrew in Jonesboro, you're on AM-750 WSB.
Yes, hey, normally I'm Andrew from Atlanta.
Right.
But I live in Jonesboro, and by the day I'm Andrew Atlanta, because that's where my office is. How you doing?
All right, sir.
Good. First of all, I didn't call in about CA, the gentleman that has one beer
right.
Went home from work. But what he's got to remember is what he said about that drunks were the problems that we're having to deal with right now. It's not the first-time offenders. Well, what he's got to understand is nobody starts out as a drunk. Everybody starts out as the one drink kind of a guy on his way home from work.
Let's just hope that somebody, maybe he will understand that, Andrew. Let's just hope that somebody doesn't run into the guy that just stopped off there at the store to get a quick one. I got to move on, buddy. Thanks a lot for the call. 1252, 8 before 1. And Wes Minner in for David Paul here on AM-750 WSB.
Through Monday at 9 p.m., Willett Toyota in Decatur gives you Atlanta loaded 1990 Toyotas for less, with many new 1991 Toyotas already here and more on the way. Willett Toyota is eliminating remaining 1990 inventory. Buy a 90 Willett Toyota Corolla GX loaded with air, automatic, AM/FM stereo, and more. $89.95. But with any trade worth $2,000, you pay just $69.95. Just $69.95 for a loaded 90 Corolla, or $149 a month. Willett Toyota in Decatur gives you brand new loaded Toyotas for less. Buy a 90 Willett Toyota Camry loaded with air, automatic, AM/FM stereo, and more. $10,995. But with any trade worth $2,000, you pay only $89.95. Only $89.95 for a loaded 90 Camry, or $189 a month. Both payments based on 11.9% APR, 60 months plus tax, tag, and title with approved credit. Till Monday, 9 p.m. at Willett Toyota, corner of Church Street and North Decatur Road in Decatur. Check the Journal-Constitution for details.
This Halloween, you're all invited to Mayhem Manor. Whoa, that was a little close. Please come in. Ouch! Even monsters can get scared by lightning, as well they should. Lightning kills over 400 Americans each year and causes countless injuries. Lightning starts thousands of fires and destroys millions of dollars of property each year. Can anything be done to protect your home, your family, even your business? Igor, ring up Southeastern Electrical Specialties, 962-3878. You can use the phone under the bed. If you'd like a free copy of the Lightning Protection Guide, an easily understandable guide to determining the risk of your property to lightning damage, please call Southeastern Electrical Specialties at 962-3878. This message brought to you by Southeastern Electrical Specialties, providers of lightning protection systems throughout the South for over a decade, and by Mayhem Mansion, which used to be over there.
Taste the Golden Diamond Source Challenge.
I'm Steve Weintraub, president of the Golden Diamond Source, and you can save money on your next jewelry purchase by taking the Golden Diamond Source Challenge.
The challenge is on.
And it's easy to do. Shop everywhere you can, but before you make a purchase, compare what you have found at the Golden Diamond Source. And you'll be glad you did, because only the Golden Diamond Source will guarantee the quality of our diamonds before you make a purchase.
Only the best will do.
Plus, the Golden Diamond Source guarantees against the loss of your diamond due to workmanship or material.
Dazzle me with Golden Diamond Source diamonds forever.
And you will save money, because only the Golden Diamond Source guarantees the lowest price or your money refunded within 30 days of your purchase.
The challenge is on.
So learn what hundreds of thousands of satisfied customers have already learned over the years. You save every day at the Golden Diamond Source, your original diamond broker.
The Golden Diamond Source, located on Roswell Road, just north of the perimeter, and next to Cub Foods on Jimmy Carter Boulevard, just east of I-85.
AM-750 WSB dropping down tomorrow and talking to Keith. You got Wes Minner. How you doing?
Hi, Wes. How you doing?
Okay, bud.
Well, first, I know I ain't got much time, so I'll talk fast.
Good. As long as I can understand it.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm a fan of Two Life Crew. Sort of. I have As Nasty As They Want to Be.
Which version?
As Nasty As They Want to Be.
Okay.
Anyway, some of the I shouldn't say literature on it, but some of the songs in there I don't approve of, but they're a good rap group, and if they can't, I believe that, like you said, that if it does go to the Supreme Court, that the verdict will be overturned.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is no way that they're going to be getting with the obscenity in public.
Keith, you listen to the record, you sound like a pretty sharp dude. You don't let the lyrics get to you?
No.
You hear them in the school anyway, don't you?
Mm-hmm. And I got another thing about that MC-17 and Rated R movies.
Right.
They don't check anything about that. I walked in, RoboCop 2?
Right.
I walked in there. I'm only 12 years old. I go, one ticket, please. And they didn't do anything about it. I walked in by myself.
Hey, man, it happens all the time. It really does. Mike in Jacksonville standing at a payphone. God bless you. You're on AM-750 WSB in Atlanta.
I want to make a few comments about 2 Live Crew.
Right.
First of all, I think they're being singled out.
By what?
There's a lot of groups out there who are doing just as awful things on record as they are.
Doesn't make their thing right.
No, but, I mean, I don't know, for political reasons or whatever, they're being singled out. And second of all, I have a question about the public place supposedly they performed in.
Right.
It's an adult club.
Right.
The Broward County Sheriff's Department was out checking IDs. There was nobody under 21 in the club.
Right.
I just don't see, how they can say they're violating the obscenity law by people, paying money to go see them. They knew what they were in for. They'd obviously heard the album before.
Well, maybe they didn't hear the album before. The bottom line is they were out in public in Broward County. I don't care if they're in a restaurant, adult club, or on the sidewalk. They violated the standards set forth by law in that community. A jury decided those laws were not obscene. End of story. We'll have to go to the appeal process.
What about the constitutionality of that local law?
That's what's up for question right now.
Okay, so maybe not. It won't be turned over necessarily.
It may not be. It may be upheld, may be overruled. The obscenity laws may be upheld, may be overruled in the appeal process, just like the Cincinnati art case will go through the same process.
I think it'll be interesting to watch it, though, because like you said, it is definitely a landmark case.
Yes, it is.
It could definitely set a lot of precedence, not only for the recording industry, but for the art industry in general.
Yes, you're right, Mike. Thanks a lot.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, buddy. Zachary and Marietta, you're on AM-750 WSB.
Yeah, Wes, how you doing tonight?
Okay, bud.
About 2 Live Crew, I've had the pleasure of having 2 Live Crew perform in a nightclub I worked at, and I've listened to them since 1986 and still have not created or committed one of the sex acts that they speak of.
Mm-hmm.
It's really up to the individual, but the thing we have to keep in mind is I personally am not worried about 2 Live Crew possibly being banned, as the song says, in the USA, because it'll be the same thing as Prohibition. They will still be there. They will still be making music. Their albums will still be sold in the underground.
Well, that's fine. As long as it's not being sold to 12-year-old kids in the public out on the top of the ground, that's what I care about.
Also about the drinking and driving, Mr. CA.
Right.
He's really got me going, but...
And he just wants to get one real quick one 10 minutes from home,
What's really important to understand is that when somebody gets arrested for DUI...
Right.
And they're given a first offense status...
Right.
Let's think about it. Is this technically their first offense or the first time they got caught?
Excellent question. Good way to round out the night, Zachary. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Hey, Georgia football up next. Westminster sitting in tonight for David Paul. And I'll be back Monday afternoon at 1 o'clock. We'll have some fun. I'll talk with a guy who says we ought to eliminate alimony and child support payments. What a show. Have a great weekend. Thanks a lot for listening.
Atlanta, WSB, Atlanta, AM-750.
The only station that covers traffic with our own helicopter and airplane. AM-750 WSB. Depend on it.
WSB, Atlanta.
AM-750 WSB news time at the Tone, 1 a.m.
Good morning. I'm Lisa Campbell in the AM-750 WSB News Center. The temperature at 1 o'clock is 55 degrees. Tonight's weather clear and cool with a low of 51. Prices in the Gulf update. Protest chants outside the White House today as over 100 people demonstrated against Bush administration policy in the Middle East. One of the protesters was Joan Drake.
Don't want to see any of my children over there. I'll do everything I can to prevent them from going. I have 2 sons and a daughter who are of the age and in the professions that would be very attractive to the U.S. and to the oil interests.
Other demonstrators accused Bush of using the buildup against Iraq to sway attention away from his failures to deal with domestic problems like the federal deficit. Faye Williams says the president displays contempt for some American troops in Iraq supporting his policy.
More Americans to stand up and say, we want peace. We want our troops out of the Persian Gulf. And as a black woman, I just want to say that those same young black men and women who are out there in the Persian Gulf are going to come home and find out that their president doesn't care enough about what they have just done to even honor them by signing the Civil Rights Bill.
President Bush says he's going to veto the Civil Rights Bill. The measure is designed to fight job discrimination, but Bush is afraid it could lead to hiring quotas. AM 750 WSB News Center time 101. News continues in a moment.
time for another visit with Highway Officer Justice Dunn.
Officer, I'm late for my croquet tournament. Did you know you were driving in front of 6 fire engines? But it's my turn to mow the lawn. The lawn? Look, if I'm late, the players hit each other. Hit each other? With the croquet balls. Croquet balls. That grass gets pretty high. Pulling over for emergency vehicles only takes a minute. Well, okay, but you explain that to 12 guys swinging croquet mallets.
When you hear emergency vehicles, please pull over. A public service message from the National Automobile Dealers Association and this station.
Paris police say some 8,000 people marched through the French capital today to say no to war in the Persian Gulf. Organizers claim 30,000 turned out for the rally. The demonstration was called by communists, Greens, and other leftist groups. Keep tuned to AM-750 WSB for the latest news from the Middle East at the top of each hour, and we'll break in with updates as